Hi friends, I am so excited because we are back. Look, it has been since Thriftmas, since I have shopped at this Goodwill. I've been trying to stay out of the thrift stores a little bit, although you saw my big bins trip, so I knew I was going to get a lot of inventory. Obviously, it's been Christmas and holidays, and we've been getting through all of that, and I've had plenty of inventory to keep me busy, so we've been doing some other videos. But I had to stop by the post office today, and I was like, why don't we bounce into Goodwill, see what's happening, see if things are going to be just as good as they were in Thriftmas, because I found a lot of stuff and it's been selling. If you're not already following me over on Instagram, it's at Life with MariaNicole. I've been still posting like on my stories when I have a Thriftmas sale so that you guys can kind of see how fast it's selling and what it's selling for. I've gotten a lot of feedback that you guys really like seeing that follow through, which of course is helpful because I can buy a bunch of stuff, but if it's not selling, then what's the point, right? So you know the drill. We are going to go in here and shop the new racks. Hopefully there will be some new racks. If there happens to not be that many new racks or new carts, then we will flip through a different rack or something and make a fun video out of it. So, I also do have a 20% off coupon today. A lot of people have been asking how I get these coupons. It's based on your area. I am in the Chesapeake area of Maryland, and at our Goodwills, if you do a donation, you get this handy dandy 20% off coupon. It's also with your donation receipt for tax purposes. The best way is just to ask your Goodwills, or just donate something and see, what you get. All right, let's go. So for any Thriftmas watchers, do you guys remember those little Squishmallow dupes? Yep, they are still there. All right, so as I was walking back to the new rack, I found these vintage Havana. I recognized them right away with the stars. That's a very traditional style they do. These tennis shoes really do pretty well for me. I've sold different styles of them a variety of times, so those are going straight in the cart. Now, as you know, I love showing you guys the new racks. There is only a couple in the store today, but we're gonna go through every single item and see what we can find. Here's another Carhartt t-shirt. I'm already seeing that the prices have increased. So since this is the first time I have shopped in January, things that were $2.99 are now $3.29. Things that were $5.99 are now $6.29. Things that were $6.99 are now $7.29. Things like that. So they definitely went up a little bit. I'm still trying to get a feel for what all the different prices are. Let me know down in the comments, did your stores go up at your Goodwill this January, or have they stayed just the same? I'm used to prices going up each year. I'm used to the bins prices starting to go up, and yeah, it's always a little frustrating. But, we got to roll with the punches and see what we can find. So I headed over here. They've been putting their kids' clothes now all of a sudden on a specific new rack. And one of the first things I found was this Big Pony rugby style t-shirt. This is just a kid's, but because it had that great big pony on it, I do end up grabbing this for $3. If it hadn't had the big pony and the rugby style, I probably would have left it. You can see that Polo Ralph Lauren tag, but even these in kids can sell between like $20 and $25. So I'm going to take a chance on them. And then I also found this Janie and Jack little plaid, long sleeve button down that I'm going to grab as well. I really do love selling Janie and Jack. I caught this out of the corner of my eye, this little flamingo, and it looks like it might have been like Vineyard Vines or Bowdoin or something. There's also a lobster one, but they did not end up being a brand, I think, of any sort, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm seeing quite a few Uggs up here. They are a little beat up on the toes. As you can see, they've got some browning, so not in a condition that I am willing to pick up to resell. Also, if you remember those 2 pairs of purple kids Uggs that I picked up in Thriftmas, those have not yet sold, so I am being even more cautious, until I can get some of them sold. These just normal, tall, classic Ugg boot styles, I have harder and harder time getting or selling, but any other styles from Uggs I've been doing really well with. Looking at those Crocs right there, but decided to leave them behind and head over to see if there's any other kids shoes over here. I like trying to find Keen and Merrill. I like finding snow boots, Sorels, Kamix, Columbia, North Face. And then, of course, I'm always looking for shoes for my own kids because things just get beat up and they outgrow them. So I'm always looking to snag them at thrift stores when I'm able to get them pretty cheap. Okay, this caught my eye too over here in the corner. I was wondering if that was a good one. And then I randomly found this adult North Face, and it is priced up. I think it's $16, but with this great big logo on the back. I debated it. I looked up comps. It's in beautiful condition. I do end up getting that. I think I can sell it around 40. And so with that, 16 into 40, I do have that 20% off coupon today. And yeah, so I end up grabbing that. Heading over to the other section of kids' shoes now to see if we can grab anything. As you guys know, you know the drill if you've watched any of my Thrifts with Me's at the store. I've been seeing a lot of rollerblades in this store. Still need to get my daughter rollerblading this year. So just taking a peek here to see if there's anything we can find. Those were super cute and clean Timberlands, but for that price, I ended up leaving them behind. But OMG, on a little baby, those would be adorable. These up here I was hoping were bogs, but I was fooled once again by DSG, but that's okay. Happens to the best of us.
So I didn't mention this in the car, but I meant to. Since it is January, it is very normal for Goodwill to raise their prices each year. You see it at the bins, like the pound weight will go up, and I am already seeing it in my Goodwill retail. So for instance, after looking at those shoes, I was walking past and I saw these like Carhartt short sleeve flannels here, which I might pick up. These are priced at $5.49, and before during like Thriftmas they were $5.29, so they went up a little bit. I think some of the kids stuff used to be like $2.49 and now it's $3. I saw some shoes that used to be like $12, like the ones I grabbed, that are now saying like $2.29. So I'm still getting a feel for what they raised and what they didn't. I do see there's a couple more new racks over there we're going to try to get to, but I am going to grab both. There's 1-2 short sleeve Carhartts right here, and Carhartt has been really big recently. I'm not going to make a killing on these, but like if you see anything else Carhartt, definitely pick it up, especially things that are more substantial. It's doing really, really well.
Back over to the next new rack. The store was very busy this day. People kept coming up next to me, so I was trying to be really conscious while I was filming, but OMG, I had a really great find here as I'm digging for this tag. This is Sandro. Sandro is one of my favorite brands to resell because it usually sells pretty quickly and it usually sells for decent money. And these are a pair of linen pants, which I love just selling from almost any brand. And Sandro, I expect that those will do really well too. I did not even comp them in the store, to be honest. Let me run you through a few things. I found these birdies. They do not have insoles, so I was considering whether I should pick them up or not, even without the insoles, because they look to be really clean, until I saw this nick in the leather right there, and that did it for me. So I did decide to leave this behind. It kind of sealed the deal. Another interesting find, which I had to do some in-store research on, was these dingo boots. They were selling them for $25. They looked like really good quality. They were in really good condition. After checking comps, if these had been between $15 or $20, closer to $15, I probably would have grabbed these. But I was concerned with the comps because they can sometimes sell high and sometimes sell low. And so I did end up just leaving them behind. I know we all get annoyed with Goodwill prices, but sometimes they miss things like this Patagonia Better Sweater quarter zip. This was in fantastic condition. It was in a nice color, it was in a large size, and it was standard price. So this was an immediate in the cart for me that's going to sell really well, and I think it'll sell really fast. I'm trying to be selective, guys. I think you'll be proud of me. I left this basic Madewell tank top behind at standard Goodwill prices. Probably would have grabbed it at the bins, but for $5, that does not need to come home with me. Okay, these actually I was a little bit disappointed in. They were super clean, and I did end up looking them up because they are Ralph Lauren, and honestly comps were around $15 for them, so I did end up putting those back as well. I'm very glad I decided to look those up. Here's another really nice substantial North Face vest at $16. I kind of thought maybe I should leave this behind, but after comping it, I again think this can sell around $40 or so, and it is in such good condition. I grabbed that. All right, this is what I was talking about with Uggs that are not those normal classic tall boots can do well. So these slippers I did end up grabbing. They are in pretty decent condition, especially for slippers, and those have been so trendy. All right, I came over here. I was drawn to a couple things. I really liked these just basic prints. I think they're photographs maybe, but I liked the matting. So I left them behind, but I was even more drawn to this beautiful oil painting on canvas. It's abstract. You can see just like the thick layers of oil on the canvas there. I thought it would look phenomenal in my dining room to replace something that's a bit older. So I'm looking for the price, and lo and behold, they did still have this priced at $100. And even that I was considering, and I was like, you know what? I'm in thrift stores all the time. I'll find something that's better. Let's leave it there for somebody else. If it had been $50 or less, I probably would have grabbed that and taken it home. But I don't know. I still might have nightmares. That was definitely hand done. Just trying to show you the layers of oil there. Somebody tell me, should I pick that up? Was that a bad decision? The other thing I was looking at was this pretty mirror. Hi guys, you can see me. And I thought this was stunning. I've been kind of redecorating some parts in my home, but the place I wanted this, I needed to have hung this horizontally, and it only has I needed to hang it vertically, and I only had a horizontal wire hanger, so I decided to leave it behind so I didn't have to mess with it. Although they didn't have that many new racks out in the store today, they did have quite a few new carts, as you see. So we're going to go through a few of them and see if we can find any goodies. I'm always trying to look at the bags. They typically have bags priced up, but every once in a while I can still find one that is worth paying that price for. I see these like magazine racks quite often. I think those do really well if you were to have like a brick and mortar store or like an antique store or something. But those are a bit harder for me, maybe if I was selling on like Facebook Marketplace. All right, so I found some diapers. These are going to be great to pick up as part of a present for an upcoming baby shower. So those are going to go straight in my cart. They're too young for my little guy, but they will be great for somebody else. Speaking of my little man, I am in the market for a slightly bigger book bag for him to start taking to daycare. He is almost 3 now, but that one was still the toddler size, and I'm looking for something a little bit more in between. I did just pick up my daughter a little unicorn bag, almost like that if you watch my Goodwill bins video, but that's going to go in her Easter basket. So just seeing if I can find any shoes that are thrown in here. They put absolutely everything in these carts. You never know what you're going to get. The more you dig, the better off you are. Sometimes I'll just kind of bend down and look through them and see what I can find. There's a tried and true Tupperware container, like the chip dip or the fruit and veggie dip one. So yeah, sometimes I'll just look down there because you really can't get to the bottom unless you're pulling everything out. Okay, these were a Avon set of dishware, and they did look like they had a great big set. I did look up the pieces later to make sure that I wasn't, missing some amazing gem. And it was not going to be a good enough value to resell, especially since they had them all priced individually. If they had a great big lot priced pretty well, you might have been able to do some decent work over on eBay selling those, but they'd be really, really hard to ship. So I need to stick to what I know, clothes, shoes as accessories. But, sometimes I do like to pick them up. Looking for things that I can have little fitness activities at work here and there, but I have quite a bit of those fitness bands already. Some Christmas cards you can stop up for next year. But yeah, look at all these carts. I didn't have tons of time to get through all of them. Look how cute these are. Wouldn't these be adorable in like some little kid's bathroom? You got a vintage igloo cooler. But yeah, somebody donated their entire set of like vintage cow wood pieces from what looks to be a bathroom. Okay, that looked like the monkey that turns into the elephant in Aladdin. I don't know. Somebody tell me, and maybe it's different. But it looks like the Aladdin elephant. I love this Moses basket you're going to see here in a minute. They chocked it full of all of this. Probably one person donated all those items. Moses baskets can actually sell on eBay, especially the older ones, the vintage ones. They had this priced at like $15, so it was not something I was going to mess with. And then they had all these figures inside, and I hate when they put the stickers, so it's really hard to actually see what everything is, but they're really cute. I end up finding a few more. They end up being Mary's Moo-Moos. If anybody had those growing up, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be curious. So there's some more priced, all priced separately. Okay, this I was trying to make sure it wasn't like a beautiful vintage bag, but it wasn't. It felt pretty cheap anyway. In the next card, it looked like somebody donated some of their old like vintage hats. None of them looked to have any value to me. I do like selling Cooperstown collection clothes sometimes, but for that, there's a knockoff little Minnie Mouse ears that would have been great if somebody needs them for Disney. My daughter would absolutely love that Tinkerbell pillow, but she is in no needs of throw pillows. I can barely even see her bed sometimes. She has so many throw pillows on there, but that's okay. She loves them, and they make her happy, and she sleeps perfectly well with all of them. This looked super old and antique-y, but again, I'm trying to move fast. All right, PSA for any Goodwill employees, if any happen to be watching this video, your shelves are overflowing with these travel mugs because you have them priced for like $5 for things that have company logos and that nobody needs, that nobody wants. Put them at 50 cents, put them at $1, and maybe they'll sell, and then they won't be literally falling off your shelves. Okay, one good thing I did find is this false craft set. This is a 3-piece set in the Yorktown collection. The Yorktown collection is one of the better selling collections from false craft, and they had all 3 of these for only $4. They were in really great conditions. That was kind of impressive. All right, while I was just walking past the belts, I found this J. Crew belt. It was funny because I found what looked like a nice belt earlier and it didn't end up being something, and then I ended up finding this cute little lobster one. So belts standard price are $3 at my store, so I did end up grabbing this. I think it'll be cute for summer. This was in a FabFitFun box super long time ago, maybe my very first FabFitFun. It's like a subscription box, and I still have it. It is currently on my kitchen table, so it's kind of just fun to see. All right, I was also really excited to grab this cookies and milk plate. We had a little accident this year and ours broke, so this is going to be a nice replacement for next year. I brought it home and my daughter was so excited to see it sitting on the kitchen counter. She was just thrilled.
You're not going to believe what I just found. I found another Sandro. It's a sportswear. It's a nice blazer, a jacket. I sell their blazers consistently for like 45 to like 60, so pretty excited with that. I was actually walking by because I'm still trying to find myself some dress shoes, and I'm right here with like jackets and stuff, and it just spoke to me. I could just see it, so I got really lucky on this one.
While we're here, just flipping through real quickly to see if I think I can see anything else with value. This just looked like a nice activewear brand, but I did end up looking it up and it did not have any comps, so you'll see me kind of playing around with it, deciding if I'm going to keep it, but when I looked it up, I did end up putting that one back. The blazers and jackets section is one that I will sometimes check when I'm at Goodwill, just because, you know, they typically sell for more, so they're sometimes worth paying the Goodwill prices, but it is always hard because, you know, the stuff that's on these racks is often picked through and you can't find as many good things as when, you know, I'm able to just shop the new racks. I really liked this Blank NYC jacket. Blank NYC doesn't do all that well. It doesn't move that fast, I should say, but these like moto style jackets are one of their best sellers. I've sold them a variety of times. If we were at like a discount store or I found that at the bins, I absolutely would have grabbed that, but for the price they wanted, it's not going to sell high enough for me to be able to pick it up, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to just because it was really cute and I would have enjoyed wearing it, but I gotta be good, I gotta behave, and I'm trying to do better in 2025 of leaving things behind. So this is a nice spider, like T-snap pullover almost, but no, not for that price. Definitely not gonna pay that price. Checking just a few bags to see if I see anything just immediately that feels really nice. I never spend that much time in Goodwill in the bags because my Goodwill tends to pull out everything good. I think they do put it on Shop Goodwill online. And then the bags they do have, you know, I don't rarely see a bag for less than like $10. If anyone remembers this bag, I definitely remember this being in Thriftsmiths in one of the carts, so it's been sitting there ever since. But I just really struggle to find bags. Sometimes I can find them in the new racks every once in a while, but when I look over here, I just leave them behind. This one just looked interesting, so I was seeing if it happened to be a brand that I recognized, and it wasn't, but it looked a little bit different and unique. I've been watching a lot of, oh my gosh, the homeschooling picker recently, and she's always finding good bags at her Goodwill. So that gave me a little bit of inspiration, but sadly I did not find anything. If you're not following the homeschooling picker, it's a really fun couple that does a lot of like estate sales and thrift sales and shopping at Goodwill. She does mostly hard goods. She doesn't dabble that much in clothes and shoes, but it's always fun to see what she picks up, and is always giving me inspiration to maybe pick up some things that I shouldn't. I should just stay in my lane. Here's some Coach wedges that, again, they just had priced up. That's not a really great selling style these days. Look how adorable these little pig shoes were. Oh my goodness. If those had been at the bins, I probably would have grabbed them just based on style. This is one I really did want to pick up and I considered picking up. It is Lafayette 148, which is a really expensive brand, but they had this too priced up. I was just worried about the profit margin there because sometimes Lafayette 148 sells really well for me and sometimes it doesn't. So I just didn't want to take that risk today. Okay, here was a really nice vintage Pendleton wool blazer. Vintage Pendleton wool is one of the best categories. It is, of course, just a plain classic color. Pendleton wool, if you can find sweaters and stuff that are in like the southwestern Aztec-y print, is going to do the best. Okay, I happened to be over here because I was still looking for some shoes for myself, and I just wanted to show you that I was a little bit proud that I left these behind. These We The Free shorts, I have like 3 or 4 of these that are very similar in my store. I've been lowering the price and I haven't been able to sell them, so I am just going to leave those behind. But I did find a pair of Patagonias. These are the baggies, and these sell consistently for me. So for like the $5 or so that these are, they're in great condition. I am going to pick those ones up. While I was looking at the shorts, I happened to stumble upon some decent shoes, a couple pairs of Tevas that are really good selling sandals for me, some nice black leather booties that I did end up grabbing. So I ended up doing quite a bit better than I was expecting to at the beginning of this trip. One last item to show you that I grabbed as I was walking to checkout because this like crochet looked really nice. This is Terzo Millennial. I picked this up during Thriftsmas because it was 100% linen, and the dress that I picked up sold really well. So I'm going to try this blouse. It's perfect for spring. I liked the kind of shoulders. If anyone needs some Stanley work pants, they must have gotten a big donation because my store is chocked full of them.
All right, first of all, I apologize for the light. It has changed in the last 45 minutes or so since I was in the store. But I ended up getting 18 items to resell. I grabbed a few for my family that I showed you as well. And I spent $105.38. So my average cost of goods came out to like $5.35, I think. I already forgot, and I calculated it about 30 seconds ago, which is pretty good considering I had all of those, like the higher price North Face stuff, a couple shoes, stuff like that. I did have $7.64 in points redemption. So my Goodwills, as you spend money, you can redeem it later for cash, like you built. It's a rewards program. So I had that left over from last time I did Thriftsmas, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I was not expecting to find 2 Sandro pieces. I love selling Sandro. It sells really well for me. I'm also working on that baby shower present. So like I got some good stuff. Really excited that I was able to find a replacement for our milk and cookies plate and cup. And once again, my Goodwill, trusty Goodwill, did not let me down. It was fun because of a couple of the store employees were like, oh my gosh, like it's good to see you. Like we missed you. Like they had kind of gotten to know me. So they're very, very sweet. It's Sarah, the one, it's almost her birthday. So shout out to her birthday. I don't think she's ever going to see this, but that is okay. I hope she has a wonderful, happy birthday. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me again. I hope you had a little bit of fun coming thrifting with me at the Goodwill. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.